wrestling to live with terrifying medical conditions. Natalie's battling a mystery illness that makes her so allergic to everything that she eats that she vomits right after she eats or drinks anything. And the only way that she can survive and is here today is because she feeds herself with a feeding tube that she puts down her nose and that goes down into her throat, down into her esophagus, into her stomach. Check this out.
Sorry, love, but we've got under a sheet anyway, so I suppose you just have to eat as much as you can, hope that you keep a little bit down, perhaps. Are you feeling weak? Do you think you can make it? Do you think you'll be okay? Did it all come back?
Pretty much.
Oh, I just can't figure something out. You take some rest. Alright.
So Natalie, you got on a plane here and they lost your luggage with the feeding tube in it. Is that what happened?
No, it's more like we've misplaced it.
Oh, you can't find it. I thought it was the airport, so you can't find your feeding tube. Wow. So since you've been here, you've been having to eat the traditional way and throw up. How fast, when you're eating that traditional way, do you throw up? How soon does it come back up?
It'll literally be like a minute or two afterwards, and there's no effort or anything. It's just there.
It just comes up. Is there a name for this?
No one's really seen it before, so no one's diagnosed it or anything.
And, okay, so tell me about cravings. Do you crave food? You want it? Do you ever, so you put the feeding tube in, what, every night?
Yeah,
Explain
every
the feeding
night.
tube before we get into, like, the traditional food. You put the feeding tube in.
I put the tube down my nose, and it goes into my stomach, and it attaches to like a machine. Yeah, there's like another tube that goes through like a bag of feed, through the machine, and then attached onto the one that I have. And yeah, it's like a litre worth of liquid and food, which is all the nutrients from the day, and it goes through.
And so, you know, when you're like eating and you're hungry and the food is going down, you start feeling like, oh, I feel good, the food is going down, I feel like I'm filling up my body. When the food is going through the feeding tube, do you feel like I'm getting full, like I'm feeding my body, or is it just more medical?
I don't really feel it at all. It's like I'll still eat through the day, and that gets rid of like hunger for a bit or whatever. But with the feed itself, I don't feel hungry when I have it as much. So it's not as if it cures hunger. It's just there. It's a calorie.
It's a calorie keeping you alive. Yeah. So you say you still get hungry throughout the day and you eat food. So how many times a day are you eating?
I'll eat like all the 3 meals and snacks or whatever. Like I'll have a normal breakfast, a cereal or something,
and then throw it up.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're just hoping your body's holding some of that down inside.
Yeah. And I mean, there are some days when it's good and it stays down, but it's not very often.
And how low has your weight gotten?
There's been times when it's gone down to like 77 pounds.
Wow.
And now it's just, obviously it's not at the moment.
Yeah.
But
and how old are you now?
19.
19 years old. Oh. Okay, so when did you realize, Mom, when did you realize that she had this disorder?
Well, she started being poorly when she was 8 months old.
8 months old?
Just after I finished breastfeeding, she went onto solids, and the doctors put it down to gastroenteritis.
Did you have a surgery? I heard you had a surgery to tighten something up down in there?
I've had like a surgery. It's like a double one. So the top one, you know, there's a valve between like the stomach and the esophagus. They tightened that up, but
it didn't work.
It didn't work. So
it didn't work. It must have been frustrating.
It was. It's frustrating, and you feel inadequate as a mother because you can't do anything.
I gotta ask you. I know there's one thing that you eat that just you don't throw up. What is that?
Tic Tac. As strange as that sounds, I mean, we didn't know at first because when I was first being sick, I used to have like normal mint because I felt really conscious thinking I smelled a stick. This was about 6 years ago.
Oh, because of the throwing up, you're like, let me pop mint so I don't think.
And then sort of they started coming up, and the only thing that did stay down was this mint-flavoured Tic Tac.
Tic Tacs and Diet Coke today. Oh, wow. Oh, another girl, the only thing she's allergic to water. She can't drink water, fruit juice. Diet Coke does not upset her at all. Interesting. You guys need to call or get some endorsements. Well, good luck, Natalie. Thank you so much for telling your story.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mom.